Today we are going to make a quick little ornament. It could be an ornament, it could be part of a wind chime, that is up to you. We're just going to do with some scrap clay that I have. Leather hard, it's holding its shape, but it's still malleable enough that I can work with it. I have, using my needle tool, I go in and draw the design in the shape of a silhouette of a bird. This is being done with a medium fire clay, but you can actually do this project with air dry clay. You can use that Play-Doh style stuff. It's up to you. You can use paper clay. And I'm just cutting all the way through with my needle tool. Okay, I have the shape of the silhouette of the bird. I'm going to go in with my fingers and smooth out the edges. Any edges that are left rough will become very, very sharp during the drying and bisque firing process. I'm going to go in just very quickly, smooth it out. Use your fingers, you can use a tool. This is just a damp sponge. Now, this particular bird, I have planned to have it hanging, so I want both sides to be as finished as possible. A lot of the projects that I work with the kids, only one side will be viewable, and so then I don't stress having everything as neat as I'm going to on this one. Now this is a good time to figure out what kind of a design you're going to have on the base of your bird. This is the head, the beak, the body, and then the tail feathers. I am going to go in and I just have a stencil here that I'm just going to very carefully lay the stencil down and go over it in a few little areas with a pencil. Okay, the reason I'm using a pencil is if I went in with my needle tool, it would be digging in too deeply and it actually makes a rougher edge, which is why we get all those little divots of clay coming off. With the pencil, it has more of a taper to it and it will not dig in as deeply. Just kind of trace it lightly. As you see, it has some nice but subtle effects. Now here, I'm going to go ahead off as much clay as possible so the edges are smoother. And then I'm going to drill a hole through it so that it can be hung up after it's been fired. Kind of a romantic style bird. Cleaning up all edges as much as I can before I adhere it. And then you can choose how you want your wing to be. Have mine like that. Now I have a nice scroll pattern. Now, before I score and slip it into place, I'm going to clean up the edges. And I'm going to decide what kind of a pattern I want. You can carry the original pattern through to this, or you can go a different direction. This is a loop tool, and it can be used to trim pots, but it also can be used to add textures and details. Now, if I just take the tip, now this is leather hard clay, which actually has, dried for quite some time, so it is still workable, but it is hard enough that it actually takes a little bit of strength. Okay, just by using the loop tool, I'm able to create different textures. Now each tool is slightly different. I've got a huge range of them here, and you can see the tips are all just a little bit different. Different tools, different sizes, and how they're applied will create different results. So I'm just going to go in with a quick tool and this direction, and I'm going to make it look like it's feathers. And from here, again, look at the placement. Scoring both sides. our slip. And gently but firmly pressing down. Okay, so we have that side. Now, to decide whether we're doing anything to the other. Clean up all the edges. Now, while I'm working on the reverse side, I have to remember not to get too rough because it will affect the other side. Since I want this as an ornament, be careful but keep both sides as neat as possible. All right, on this one, go ahead and have a different wing. It's all going to be placed. This wing is obviously different. Score both sides and placing the slip on the smaller of the two pieces. Firmly but gently pressing them together. Okay, go in with the sponge, clean up edges. And I'm going to go in with some of the sculptural style tools in the areas that might need it. Once more, I'm going to go in with a loop tool. Careful not to go towards the edge of the feathers because they're going to be more fragile, and just gently add some details and texture. Okay, I think I'm going to leave the rest of the body smooth. There's some elegance and simplicity sometimes. Since this is going to be an ornament that will be hung in a window or on a tree or wherever you'd like to hang it, it is important to remember to add your hole for your string now. If you wait until it is bone dry or already fired and you try to add the hole then, the project will crack and break. Okay, because this is a double-sided, it is important to remember the placement of the wings so you're going through at the right spot. I'm using a hole puncher tool that is specifically for clay. All right, I'm going to go in just above the wing on both sides, and I'm gently twisting as I go down, and it comes through. And then I'll carefully pull it out, and I have a nicely circular hole that is clean. Now, working with small children in a classroom, I generally will not allow them to use my hole puncher because it can be quite dangerous. So I usually make the teachers do this, or I have the students go in and just punch a hole with a pencil and then clean up the edges as best as they can. Now we have an ornament that can go in the kiln and come out and be finished with acrylic paint, glaze, or left just as it is. All right, thank you.